Hi everyone, I hope you're having a good Monday. Hopefully not too blue. I'm just about to leave the office, but I thought I'd record this before I leave. And as many of you would know, I am very excited today because we've actually just launched the Empirics podcast, this knowledge podcast that aims to bring you daily bite-sized knowledge through all social fields by tapping into our Empirics network. Now, you can find this podcast now on Spotify, on iTunes Music, and also Google Podcasts, and very soon it'll be available on all other networks too. The idea behind our podcast is something that you can tap into every day, easily click play. You get the most relevant and concise knowledge that you need to know through all social fields that are very relevant towards the current trends. And we want to provide that to you in the most engaging way. But there's a twist. If you have a listen.
But if we play by the game's apparent rules, our opponents will take their advantage and leave us for fools.
The person that you just heard narrating our podcast is actually not a person at all. In fact, she isn't even human. That is actually an artificial intelligence that we have spent some time developing. And that episode, just like the many other episodes that you see there, that is being published now on a day-to-day basis, was entirely decided by, edited by, produced by this artificial intelligence. There was no human involvement in that episode or any of the episodes that you'll see on the podcast. We did absolutely nothing. At this point, the fear of potentially losing our jobs in this field is finally daunting on us. However, the point is this entire podcast is actually being run by a machine learning artificial intelligence that we have developed. And this is a significant moment because perhaps for the first time, quite possibly the first time in human history, this is the very first podcast show that currently exists that's entirely being run by an artificial intelligence that seeks to educate humans with no human involvement. Now, how it works is that our artificial intelligence will use complex algorithms to determine what are the current trends in knowledge in all social fields. And based on its own analysis, it will determine which episodes to produce. And as it's producing it, it will see how it can make each episode more concise. And finally, ultimately, it will deliver these episodes through very advanced narration technology that seeks to imitate human voice in the most naturalistic way. It also incorporates machine learning. So this AI is also actively studying the feedback as well as the behavior of the audience, and the data from that will allow it to improve itself much more through time. So with the Empirics podcast, this machine learning AI will never sleep. It will be constantly analyzing data to produce the most crucial knowledge content that you can possibly find by tapping into our Empirics network, and also editing and producing it in the most engaging and concise way to provide you truly an innovative but also valuable experience. Now, why we did this is because we truly believe in the power of technology, especially artificial intelligence when it's combined with machine learning on top of what we're doing. It is able to deliver value in a way that may trump human condition. You see, for example, we could launch a podcast, or like myself, I've launched a YouTube channel, and we could of course do the same thing, but the human condition at times hinders it. For example, my own experience of actually recently starting my YouTube channel, you have to decide sometimes what sort of topics you want to talk to people about. So there is a human factor. Whether your conclusions of what you're talking about is actually relevant is something, but of course, an AI might be able to gather that data in a way that's much better than a human can. At the same time as well, there is also this other issue of the quality and the consistency of what is actually being delivered. You might have certain bad days, or on certain times you might not be able to deliver the content in the best quality in terms of an audio experience, and of course an AI solves that. And finally, there is a question of learning, whether through time as we are going through the experience of producing these content we can actually learn to improve. But again, the AI aims to solve all that. We are very confident that this innovative podcast, which represents really the first in this industry, will be able to help all of us expand our personal knowledge in a way that was never before possible. And every day it will work very hard and tirelessly to deliver this value to us and better itself in delivering value furthermore. So I'm very excited about this. You can already check out the podcast on all the main channels at the moment, and excited to bring you on this journey with us. Ultimately, all of this, the Empirics podcast, is being done in pursuit of our organization's objective, which is really to deliver knowledge to the world, to create greater access to knowledge of the world. And with this Empirics podcast, we believe we can do just that. So why should you, a human, listen to a podcast that is being run by an AI? Well, quite simple, because this AI was created to serve us in a way that potentially humans can't.